Assalamualaikum and a very good day to everyone. My name is KAMAL BASHA ATATUBIL bin ABDUL KARIM, and today I will be presenting my study title, The Influence of Friends on Financial Literacy Among Students in University Polytechnic Malaysia UPTM. Let's begin with a quick overview of what this research is all about. Financial literacy is not just a skill, but is a life necessity. It's about managing money wisely, making informed financial choice, and being financially prepared for the future. This study focused on how friends influence the financial literacy of students here at University Polytechnic Malaysia UPTM. We use a quantitative method, collecting data through structured questionnaire, and analyze it using SPSS software. The result were quite interesting. We found that students tend to adopt the financial habit, attitude, and decision-making style of their friend. This shows that friends play a significant role in shaping how students deal with money. Our findings highlight the importance of social interaction in developing financial awareness. Okay, now, financial literacy, especially critical during university life. This is the phase where students begin to take responsibility for their own finance. They deal with tuition fee, daily allowance, and sometimes even manage student loan. Yet, research shows that many students still lack the knowledge and skill to handle this responsibility. Multiple factors can affect a student's financial literacy, such as family background, education, and social skills. But one of the most influential factors is friends. According to recent study by Lee, Chok, and Chin, 2024, friends have a strong impact on financial literacy. Students often mirror the financial behavior of those around them, how they spend, save, borrow, or even invest. In this research, we explore how friends shape this behavior among students at UPTM and how this influence can be both positive and negative. Okay, let's now explore the literature review that support this research. Financial literacy is widely recognized as a critical life skill. It refers to a person's ability to understand financial concepts and make smart financial decisions, particularly in budgeting, saving, investing, and managing debt. For university students, financial literacy become more important as they move towards financial independence. Without it, students may fall into poor financial habits, take on unnecessary debt, and face a long-term financial struggle. The next theoretical frameworks. To explain how students develop this financial skill, several theories are referenced. Firstly, we have the Human Capital Theory by Baker, 2022. This theory suggests that just like investing in education can lead to better career prospects, investing in financial education can improve financial decision making. So, students who attend a financial workshop, consult mentor, or learn from peer are more likely to develop positive money habit. Next is Behavioral Life Cycle Hypothesis by Sheffrin and Taylor, 2021. This theory impresses how people's spending and saving habit change at different stages of life. For example, students often prioritize short-term wants like outing or shopping over long-term savings. Okay, now let's focus specifically on friends' influence, which is central to this research. According to social learning theory, students learn from observing others. This means that if students regularly see their friend budgeting, saving, or investing wisely, they are likely to adapt those behavior too. Friends influence students in multiple ways. Firstly, through daily conversation about money. Second, by recommending financial product or habit, and even by simply setting an example of either responsible or irresponsible spending. The influence can be positive, such as encourage saving and wise spending, or negative, like promoting impulse buying or debts. Okay, now let's focus methodology. This study used a quantitative research approach with a cross-sectional survey design. Data was collected from 199 students at UPTM through structured questionnaire. This questionnaire will distribute both online via Google Form and offline on campus to ensuring diversity in response. The survey access two main variables. The first one is financial literacy, including topics like budgeting and saving, and friends influence, measuring how much student financial behavior was shaped by their friends. The data was analyzed using SPSS to examine correlation and reliability tests. Okay, now we focus finding and discussion. For the first one, demographic data. The sample consists of 199 UPTN students. The respondents for mostly male, 57%, and female 43%, with the majority age between 23 to 26 years, 46%. The students were dominant Malay, 93%, with smaller percentage of Indian and Chinese students. The majority were pursuing degree program, 66%, followed by diploma student, 27.5%. Many students rely on government support, 79.5%, parental support, 57%, and work part-time job, 40%, to finance their studies. Okay, next we focus reliability test. To ensure the credibility of the results, reliability testing was conducted using Cronbach Alpha. The Cronbach Alpha for financial literacy was 0.882, indicating excellent reliability. The Cronbach Alpha for friends influence was 0.803, which is considered good. This confirmed that the questionnaire was well structured and provide reliable result for future analysis. Okay, next, finding for correlation analysis. The percent correlation coefficient was calculated to examine the relationship between friends influence and financial literacy. The result shows a weak positive correlation R 0.124, suggesting the student influenced by their friends in financial matter tends to have slightly high financial literacy. However, the p-value 0.820 was greater than the significant level of 0.05. It suggests that although friends may influence financial behavior, this influence is not strong enough to substantially affect student overall financial literacy. For discussion, for objective 1. For the first research objective, the study found the UPTM students are moderately financial literate. They possess a basic understanding of personal financial topic such as saving, budgeting, and spending. This finding align with the human capital theory, Baker 222, suggesting the financial literacy improve through both formal education and personal experience. For discussion objective 2, regarding the second research objective, the study reveals a weak positive correlation between friends influence and financial literacy. While friends influence play a role in shaping students' financial behavior, the relationship is not strong enough to significantly affect their financial knowledge. This aligns with the theory of planned behavior, Zen 221, where friends influence is considered one factor among many that shape behavior. In conclusion, financial literacy is crucial for university students, helping them make informed financial decisions and reduce financial stress. The study found that UPTM students are moderate financially literate, but could benefit from more structured financial education programs. This highlights the importance of formal education in improving students' financial knowledge and skills. Future study should focus on strengthening financial education program within university and explore how structured financial education rather than friends influence can lead to better financial decision making and a more financially literate generation. Thank you for your time and attention. I hope this presentation provide useful insight into financial literacy among UPTM students and the role of friends in shaping financial behavior. Thank you.
Good morning and Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Muhammad AKHMAL bin Muhammad KHALIP, and today I will be presenting our research on the family influence on financial literacy among University Polytechnic Malaysia UPTM student. For the introduction, first of all, why is this topic important? It is because financial literacy is crucial for making informed financial decisions. We know that many university students struggle with money management, leading to debt, poor saving, and financial stress. While universities offer financial education, family influence play a major role in shaping financial habit from an early age. This research aims to explore on how parental discussion, financial guidance, and financial habits will impact student financial literacy. Okay, the next one is problem statement. Now, let's take a look at the problem we identify. Studies show that many university students lack financial literacy, which can lead to overspending, debt accumulation, and poor financial planning. Despite growing effort in financial education, the role of family influence is often overlooked in these issues. So, our study focus on answering this question. How do parental discussion, financial guidance, and habit will impact student financial literacy? Okay, the next one is research objective. Our research focus on three main objectives, which is the first one, to examine how parental financial discussion affects student financial literacy. The second one, to analyze the impact of parental guidance on budgeting and saving. The third one, to evaluate the role of parents' financial habit in shaping student financial behavior. This objective will guide our investigation into how students learn financial skill at home. Okay, so next, theoretical framework. Our research is based on social learning theory, which suggests that people learn behavior by observing and imitating others. In this study, we focus on three independent variables. The first one is parental financial discussion. Do parents talk about money with their children? The second one is parental guidance on budgeting. Do they teach students on how to manage expenses? The third one is parental financial habit. Are parents good with financial role model? And next, our dependent variable is student financial literacy. Okay, next is methodology. To answer our research question, we use a quantitative approach, which is participant is UPTM student, data collection is survey and questionnaire, analysis is we use statistical tests to examine the relationship between family influence and financial literacy. Okay, next, for the finding, now let's take a look at what we discover. We can see that parental financial discussion will have strongest impact on student financial literacy. It means that students who frequently talk about money with their parents will make better financial decisions. The second one is we can see that parental guidance on budgeting also have an impact. Students who receive financial guidance tend to save more and manage expenses better. Next, we can also see parental financial habit will influence students. Students will mirror their parents' financial behavior, both good and bad. So, for the collective summary, the research confirmed that family influence is a key factor in shaping students' financial knowledge and habit. When parents discuss financials, guide budgeting, and model good habit, students will become more financially literate in the future. Okay, next is analysis. We tested 3 hypotheses, and here are the results. H1, parental financial discussion impact student financial literacy. The result is supported. H2, parental guidance on budgeting influence student financial behavior. The result is also supported. H3, parents' financial habit affect student financial literacy. The result is also supported. All these 3 hypotheses were supported, confirming that family influence is crucial in financial education. Okay, so for the conclusion, we can conclude that family discussion, guidance, and habits will significantly impact student financial literacy. Students who engage in financial discussion with their parents tend to develop better budgeting and saving skill. Also, for the recommendation, what can we do is, the first one is encourage financial education at home. Like parents should discuss budgeting, saving, and investment with their children. The second one that parents can do is integrate family-based financial education program in university. Workshop can help bridge the gap between home and academic financial education. Next, they can also do future research, should explore other external influences such as peer group, social media, and university financial literacy programs. By encouraging parents to actively discuss and model financial responsibility, we can improve students' financial well-being and prepare them for future financial independence. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Good morning, madam, and my name Muhammad SYAZWAN bin Abdul WAHAB. Today, I'll be presenting a study on how family influence financial literacy among students at University Polytechnic Malaysia, UPTM. This research aims to explore how financial behavior are shaped by family dynamic and how we can integrate this with formal education to improve student financial literacy. For the introduction, the role of family in shaping financial literacy. Let's begin by discussing the important role family in shaping financial literacy. From an early age, children learn about money through family interaction. Parents often guide their children directly, teaching them concepts like budgeting, saving, and even investing. This aligns with the financial socialization theory, which state that a lot of our financial behavior are influenced by both direct financial education and indirect learning, like observing our parent financial decision. So, the more financial discussion take place at home, the better prepared children are to handle their finances when they grow older. Financial literacy gaps and the need of comprehensive education. Despite the importance of financial literacy, many university students still struggle with managing their finances. The lack of financial education leads to issues like debt, poor budgeting, and insufficient saving. Many students are managing their finances independently for the first time, and unfortunately, many universities don't offer dedicated financial literacy program. As a result, students often rely on their family for financial guidance. This highlights the urgent need for university to implement financial literacy program that help students gain crucial financial skills. The third one is integrating family and educational support for financial literacy. To tackle this issue, we need to recognize that family support and formal education need to work together. While many students turn to their family for financial advice, this alone isn't enough. We need to integrate financial literacy into the university curriculum and offer family-oriented financial education program. This combined approach can help students develop sound financial habits, equipping them to handle their tuition fees, living expenses, and the complexity of managing money in today's world. The second point is literature review. How the literature review works. The role of family and targeted intervention in financial literacy. For the first one, research showed that family backgrounds play a crucial role in shaping financial literacy. A study conducted at UPTM found that student financial knowledge was heavily influenced by their family environment. Even though national initiative like Bank Negara Malaysia effort are in place, financial literacy among youth remain insufficient. For example, the Financial Capability and Inclusion Survey revealed that stagnant financial literacy level since 2021. This shows that the need for targeted intervention aimed at students, especially those managing loan, part-time works, and other financial responsibility. For the second one is family as a learning environment and gender disparity in financial behavior. Family is not just a place of financial learning. It's the first setting where children adopt financial habit. However, research also suggests that financial behavior differs by gender. Male and female students tend to approach and apply financial knowledge in different ways. For effective financial education programs, it's essential to consider these gender differences and tailor content accordingly. For the third one, family as the foundation for financial behavior through social learning. The family environment also plays a foundational role in financial behavior. Social learning theory explains that children acquire financial behavior by observing and mimicking their parents. So when parents demonstrate responsible financial practice like budgeting and saving, their children are more likely to adopt this behavior. This emphasizes the importance of family discussion about money in fostering strong financial foundation. The third one is 3.0 methodology. 3.1 the research design. For this study, we use a quantitative approach focusing on students at UPTM. We distribute a structured questionnaire to capture student financial habit. The frequency of family discussion about money and role of parental guidance. By using Likert scale and multiple choice question, we get the measurable data to understand the influence of family on student financial knowledge and decision making. For the second one is sample and participation. The study involved 199 UPTM students selected using simple random sampling. This method ensures a diverse and representative sample. minimizing bias and enhancing the reliability of the findings. The 3.3 is data collection. To gather data, we combine online and offline surveys, ensuring a broader reach while accommodating students without digital access. Ethical consideration were a priority, ensuring participant consent and privacy were respected. We strengthened the validity of the result. The 3.4 for the data analysis. For the data analysis, we use SPSS software to perform statistical analysis. The data was cleaned and categorized to ensure accuracy. Reliability testing using Chromebook Alpha shows strong internal consistency, confirming that the data collected was dependable and robust. For the 4.0, finding and discussion. For the 4.1, demographic background, let's take a look at the demographic data. Of the 199 respondents, 57 were male and the 43% were female. The majority were aged between 23 until 26 years. In terms of ethnicity, 93% were Malay with small percentage of Indian and Chinese students. Most students were pursuing a degree, and when asked about their source of income, 79.5% received financial aid from MARA, while 57% rely on parental support. Interestingly, 40% work for part-time, showing a significant number of students balancing work and study to support themselves. For the 4.2 reliability test, in terms of reliability, the financial literacy scale had a Chromebook Alpha coefficient of 0.882, indicating strong consistency. Similarly, the family influence scale had a coefficient of 0.792, which is considerably reliable. This confirmed that our measures were well crafted and the results are trustworthy. For the 4.3 correlation analysis, when we analyze the relationship between family influence and financial literacy, we found a weak positive correlation of 0.242. This suggests that family influence does play a role in student financial literacy, but it's the most significant factor. The low p-value indicate that this relationship might not be meaningful, and other factors could be more influential. For the lastly, 4.0, the conclusion. For the first conclusion is a family as a foundational influence. To conclude, family plays a key role in shaping student financial literacy. For many students, the first lesson in money management comes from home. However, the quality of this financial education varies as structure. External programs are needed to fill the gaps. For the second one is expanding financial literacy through community and institutional support. Finally, expanding financial literacy requires collaboration between university and families and community organization. Workshop resources and collaborative events could also help increase financial awareness among students. As a student become more financially literate, they can share their knowledge with others, fostering a culture of financial responsibility that extends beyond campus. That's all from me, Muhammad SYAZWAN bin ABDUL. Thank you for listening for my presenting. Thank you for your time. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Zuhairi bin SUHAIMI and I'm from University Polytechnic Malaysia. Right now I will be presenting about the article research, which is the understanding financial literacy through friends influence at the University Polytechnic Malaysia. We move to the introduction. As we all know, education is more than just the academic achievement. It is also about preparing students for the real-world changes, especially the financial ones. Financial literacy, which includes budgeting, saving and managing money responsibly, is an essential life skill for university students. As students transitions into adulthood, they begin making independent financial decisions, making it crucial to understand how they manage their money. One factor that often gets overlooked is how friends influence this financial behavior. At this stage of life, students spend a lot of time with their peers, sharing experience and even money-related habits, good or bad. This study aims to understand how much friends' influence contributes to financial literacy among the students at University Polytechnic Malaysia. So the problem statement here is, despite having access to financial education programs and resources, many UPTM students still struggle to manage their money wisely. Common issues include poor budgeting skills, impulsive spending, and lack of regular saving habits. While family, peers group, and gender all play some roles, there isn't enough focused research on how friends specifically impact students' financial literacy at UPTM. This study was conducted to address the gap, providing better insight and strategy to improve financial literacy through understanding peer influence. So, for the research objective is to examine the influence of friends on financial literacy among university Polytech Malaysia students. So, let's move to the literature review. For the dependent variable, which is the financial literacy level. Financial literacy is more than just knowing how to save. It is involved understanding budgeting, managing debt, and making sound financial decisions. Lusardi and Mitchell, 2014. For university students, this is particularly important because they are learning how to live independently, often for the first time. However, Malaysian studies shows that many students have low moderate financial literacy levels. Ibrahim and Al-Qasim, 2019. Even with financial education campaign in place, students often don't apply what they have learned in real life. Yusuf and Wan Ahmad, 2020. For the independent variables, which is the friends' influence, friends play a major role in shaping a student's lifestyle, including financial behavior. Peer influence can be both direct, through advice or peer pressure, and indirect, like social comparison. Students may feel pressure to spend like their friends, or they may learn good financial habits by observing their peers. While social influence has been studied, not much research focus solely on peer groups within universities like UPTM. That's why this study zooms in specifically on friends as a factor of influencing financial literacy. While existing literature acknowledges the role of social influence in shaping financial outcomes, there is limited research specifically focused on the influence of friends within the university setting. Much of the prior research generalized social impact without isolating the unique effect of peer groups. In the context of University Polytech Malaysia, UPTM, there is a notable research gap in understanding how peer interaction influence students' financial literacy, which this study aims to address. For the research methodology, we have research design, population, sample size, data collection, and analysis tool. For the design, we use the quantitative and the quantitative correlation design to examine the relationship between friends' influence and financial literacy. For the population and sampling, the target population was undergraduate students at UPTM using a convenient sampling method. 200 responses were collected. Once responses were excluded due to data irregularities and error, making the final sample size is 199. For the data collection, a structured questionnaire was used, divided into 3 parts: demographic, financial literacy behavior, and friends' influence. It was distributed both online and on campus for better reach. And analysis tools is we using the SPSS version 26. Descriptive statistic and Pearson correlation analysis were used to measure relationship between variables. So let's move for the analysis. For the demographic table shows there are slightly higher number of male respondents, as most students were between 90 to 26 years old. And for the mean table, the mean financial literacy score was moderate, around 3.69, while the mean score for friends was 3.30, also moderate. For the Pearson correlation between friends and financial literacy was weak but positive. Although it wasn't statistically significant, it does suggest that the peer influence has some level of impact on students' financial behavior. So let's move to the funding tables. For the demographics, 57% is a male and 46 age 23 to 26 years old, and the 93% is Malay and the 66% is a degree students. For the income sources, Mara is 79.5%, and from the parents is 57%, and the part-time is 40%, and from the PT/PTN is 8% only. For the financial literacy, mean is 3.69, which is the moderate, slight left skew, same as a peer influence, but the mean is 3.31. And for the correlation, financial literacy level and the friends influence is a weak, which is not significant. Okay, so now we are already at the last part, which is the conclusion. In conclusion, friends do play a role, although a small one, in shaping financial literacy level among student UPTM. Even with access to financial education, friends' financial decisions are heavily influenced by the social interaction. Universities like UPTM should consider peer-led initiatives, such as student financial clubs or group budgeting challenges, to improve money management habits through peer learning. While this study focused only on friends' influence, future research could include other social factors like family, gender, or socio-economic status for more a complete picture. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, everyone. My name is Muhammad NAFIZ FIKRI bin SAHUDIN. My ID number is AM2311014730, and I am excited to share my research on the influence of gender on financial literacy among university students. This study is part of a broader group research project that focuses on how gender, family, and peer influence affect financial literacy levels. In this individual presentation, I will specifically focus on the role of gender. Let's begin by understanding why this topic matters. Financial literacy is the ability to manage personal finances, including budgeting, saving, and making informed financial decisions. It is a crucial skill for university students who are beginning to handle their own money, often while balancing academic and personal responsibility. However, not everyone develops financial knowledge equally. One key factor that has been shown to influence financial behavior is gender. Gender roles shaped by social norms and upbringing can impact financial decision making, confidence, and habits. Although financial literacy is widely studied, there is a limited understanding of how gender specifically affects it, especially within the context of Malaysian university students. Many studies have focused on general factors, but fewer explore how gender difference may contribute to gaps in financial knowledge or behavior. Understanding this influence is essential for designing effective, inclusive financial education strategies. This brings us to the main objective of the study. First, the research aims to determine whether gender significantly influences financial literacy levels among university students. Second, it seeks to assess the strength of this relationship through statistical analysis using SPSS software. Moving into the literature review, previous studies have provided strong evidence that gender differences exist in financial behavior and literacy. For example, Chen and Volpe, article 2002, found that male students tend to perform better in financial literacy tests, but this may link more to confidence than actual knowledge. Meanwhile, research by Butcher Conan, article 2017, suggested that women tend to be more risk averse but are generally better savers and more consistent in financial planning. These differences are not about ability, but how each gender is socialized and exposed to financial topics. While men may be encouraged to take risks, women may be taught to be more cautious. This shows how gender norms can shape financial outcomes. The theoretical framework of the study is based on how idea that gender as a social construct influences financial literacy. That is the way we raise, the roles we play, and the expectations placed on us all affects how we learn and manage money. This framework guided the formulation of the research question and the analysis of the data. Now, let's move on to the research methodology. The study followed a quantitative correlational design, and the data was collected using a structured online questionnaire. Initially, 200 responses were collected. However, one responses was excluded due to irregularities that could have affected the result, leaving a final sample of 199 university students. The independent variable, which is gender influence, was measured using 5 Likert scale items. The reliability of these items was tested using Cronbach alpha, resulting in a value of 0.770, which indicates acceptable internal consistency. The dependent variable, which is financial literacy, was assessed through items related to financial knowledge, budgeting, and saving behavior. The data was analyzed using SPSS software, focusing on Pearson correlation to test the relationship between the two variables. Let's now take a look at the respondents' demographic profile. As shown in the table, the majority of participants were male, which is 57%, aged between 23 to 27 years old, and most identified as male, which is 93%. A significant portion of respondents were degree level students, which is 66%. In terms of income sources, the top responses were Mara allowance, which is 79.5%. The parental supports is 57%, and part-time work is 40%. This diverse background help ensures a broad representation of university students for the analysis. Now, let's explore the key findings. Using Pearson correlation analysis, the study found a moderate positive relationship between gender influence and financial literacy. The correlation coefficient was R equals 0.385, with a significant value of P less than 0.001. Based on 199 respondents, this result is statistically significant, indicating that gender influence does have a meaningful impact on financial literacy levels. While it's not the only factor, gender plays a role worth recognizing. Moving on to the discussion, the findings align with earlier studies and support the idea that gender based differences affect how students learn about and handle money. Males may show higher confidence in investing and spending decisions, while females often display more caution and discipline in saving. These behaviors are shaped by cultural expectation and social learning, rather than biological differences. The results highlights the need to develop financial education initiative that recognize and accommodate these differences. Instead of using a one size fits all approach, programs should be tailored to empower both genders and ensure that all students develop strong financial skills. Now, let me now conclude by summarizing the key points. First, the study confirmed a moderate positive relationship between gender and financial literacy among students. Second, the result suggests that gender influence financial behaviors such as confident, risk taking, and saving. Third, the findings supports the development of gender-sensitive financial education programs that cater to the different needs of male and female students. Lastly, here are the key references that supported these research. Thank you for watching my presentation. I hope that this research contribute to better awareness and more inclusive strategies in financial education.